last time, we left off with our good friends being at a pool party. I still don't know how to feel about Brian. Like, what is that? Can you imagine having like a mess, like eyeliner that goes all the way down to your arm? That's just makes you such an easy target. It also implies that he's a silhouette from the sides, you know. Like that's just he's a direct spotlight on both sides, but it's not. Whatever. I just got out of the pool, and we got Un here, our good old friend Un. He does not get better. Don't even think. She waves me out before she walks away and lays down on the nearby beach chairs. It's a pool. They're pool chairs. It's probably the nicest thing she said to me so far. I think the nicest thing she said to you so far is your name. Wow, she didn't even try to tell you a new one. I call that progress. I don't know what it is about his lips that gets me, but it really does look like he has this smug upper lip. How do you like your burgers? I still don't know why they went with Un. It is such a bad name. I will say there are fics out there that make a similar mistake of having names that are so short that I'm like, this just doesn't work. Right? I can take requests now. I couldn't before. Also, between this and like the fairgrounds, there's a lot of wetness happening in this where it's like, why couldn't you take these pictures on a sunny day? Why is everything so shiny? Has Brian just been like watering the concrete? Well, medium well is my Dude, you know who calls it medium well? Listen, I'm going to tell you this. I know, right? I know that medium well is technically an amount, but come on, man. You go medium or you go well done. Or medium rare, but medium well. Gotta leave a little pink in there. That's what your proctologist told you. Oh, that's my favorite too. So, I have a weird question about birds of prey in this regard, but we're just gonna move on. No one grills burgers better than my dad. I just don't see birds as the kind of species to grill burgers. Like, I can kind of see it with dinosaurs to an extent. You know, ooga booga, cavemen roasting. But birds just doesn't sit with me. They feel more like marinades, you know? Just leave that meat soaking in the oven. They look at it with their big old eyes. Because they're not as smell-oriented, right? I feel like because of their... Like, I'm not saying birds can't smell. They have a very good olfactory sense. But I feel like because birds are more, like, generally more visually oriented, you know, they want to look at that meat more than they want to smell it. Trust me, you'll be begging for him to make you more meat. I can't wait. Speaking of, Mom's almost done. Ayla, gonna need your help with the grill. Ayla quickly gets up, walking over and cracking her knuckles. You're serving food! Her tail swaying back and forth with each step. What would I would give to get hit by... No, focus. Why are you Ben? Where it's like, man, I want to get absolutely crushed by my bully. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You couldn't even get like a little Google Sprite? Just Google a big ol'... Wait, where are they pick up the large grill, starting to carry it to the back door that Alia opens with her tail. Alia doesn't have the most... It's a weird thing to say, considering how she's constantly described as rather large and athletic. Alia doesn't have the most muscle, but she's got more than enough to show off. Our hero, everyone, staring at her, saying like, man, I wish he would just beat me up. Like, God. Please. Can we have some degree of you being like a decent human being? Like, at least Inko had was like a soft pudding boy, so I could kind of appreciate his existence. Well, she carries the girl, her flexing arm muscles really get shown off, along with the light presence of abs on her stomach. After they get inside, a woman peeks around the door. Like, what? Are those supposed to be her thumbs? Hey there. A woman approaches us, and I notice that she looks more like Denny than Brian does. I mean, I could see it if you're, like, superficial about it. But, like, beak-wise, he has more of a pull to... No, they both have a pull to it. I think beak-wise, he looks more like Brian, though. A little racist. She is built like every animated Flixor mom, curved in all the right places. What the? Jesus Christ! Why is the main character such a perv? Her thick head of hair reminds me of the old style metalheads always had. The shirt says Avian Mercs. I'm not familiar with that name. Mom, this is Un. Nice to meet you. I'm Brandy. He talks so much about you, he just can't stop talking about how much of a weirdo you are. Like, apparently you just, like, do, what is it called again? Yeah, he's got dandruff. Yeah, whatever that is. Exactly as he describes. Listen to detail. My son has got such a literary skill, he just describes you to me. I can just see it in my head. It's called an imagination, miss. Oh, really? I thought it was just me. God. I can see what then he gets his hyperactive attitude from. I really don't think you're communicating much at all. I feel like different speeds of text, or like formatting, or having the sprite bounce up and down a little bit, or like anything at all. Like, you can't just have the character state, oh, she's hyperactive. You have the visual elements of the medium. You have a visual novel. It costs you $0 to move the sprites around a little bit, my man. Like, just use a little sine wave to Baker Bob. It's enough. The fact that she's moving and everyone else is standing still communicates the idea more than enough. I can see where Danny gets his hyperactive attitude from. Why thank you, mother. Also, comma. Come on, let's go inside. I need some help taking some things to the car, including the corpses. Where do you think we got the meat from? They're just in the kitchen. We'll grab a couple of bags and follow her out to the car. I don't know how to feel about these characters. Like, Brian does not look like he's dressed for anything. He looks like he's just really hot, he's really sweaty, and he just got finished with his yard work, and he's like, I'm not putting on clothes until I'm cool again. She, meanwhile, looks rather young in a way I can't describe. Like, I think Brian's, like, his feather pattern kind of makes him look older. You know, he's a bit gray, he's got distinction around the eyes and stuff. But Brian looks like Chief in Mortal Kombat. I mean, he's also, look at how, this is the thing that I think is well worth pointing out. Ugh, how often did this happen in you know what I think is a good place to go? I'm going to pull up something from Muwani, just as like a point of comparison, because I think this is very important. I would like to point out that our main character, Un, who again is in senior year, he should be pretty close to his maximum height. Maybe he'll get an inch or two over the years. It's not uncommon for you to grow a little in your 20s. Your growth spurt is the most noticeable of all. I want to pull up one of the CGs. Because I know the pool has a CG associated with it. Right? Oh shit, none of these have all the characters decently on it. I'm gonna have to pull up my my own thing on this. Sorry, give me a moment. This is kind of important. I need to see this. And Brutal John demo, huh? I just need to find the last part of the demo. This literally will just take a minute once I find it. There we go. Oh, this isn't the... Safi, this isn't even the last fucking one. Ugh, you're so dumb, Safi. You clicked the wrong video. You're so stupid. You're such an idiot. You're such a bingus. No. I don't care about that right now. I care about this particular picture. It's very important that you fully understand, like, how this picture works from a conceptual point of view. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to take a little screen... Oh, I need to get the progress bar out of the way. Okay, I'm just going to do a little screen grab here. And I want you to remember, and this is very important to me, I want you to remember that, what's his name, is... Damien is not implied to be that tall, but listen, you fucking listen. You listen to me. OneDrive, I know that you contain all of my screenshots like a little fucking sneaky bastard. You're holding on to all of them. They're somewhere around here. Ugh, whatever. I'll just do this the old Discord way. What a weird workaround. Un momento. I want to point out, I don't get this. Why are these characters so damn short? Like, I know that Alia is supposed to be especially tall, but it's really weird that this man, who is like 18 years old and about to become an adult, is like this much shorter than both of his parents. Like, it just feels a little bit askew, you know? This is the pool scene. I want you to pay attention. Damien is not that much shorter than his dad. He's about the height of his mom. You've got Liz, whose parents we never really see, but, you know, her height's a bit weird, especially. And, like, if you go through where the sprites are in general, like, Damien and Inko tend to occupy a pretty sizable portion of the screen most of the time. They tend to come... There's about 1/5 of the screen height remaining above them. These characters all have kind of the height that Olivia does, where they're a little bit of 2/5, a third below the top of the screen. It makes them feel so much shorter. It really makes them look more childlike. It's a small detail, but, like, framing, it's visual. You need to keep track of your directorial vision. And again, it looks really weird. Brian, can you believe how well Danny described him? The eyes on this kid. He's a bird. It's like such a racist thing to point out about him. But also, I feel this is worth pointing out. What, can we get this? You're a visual novel. You can give us that description, and we'll be like, wow. But what I think is also really weird, this is such a weird thing to comment on. Look, our child is good at describing people. He's not 12. He has more skills that he's probably more proud of by this point in his life. He has a keen eye like you. How can she see anything? Half of her eyes are covered by bangs. Oh, don't make me blush, dear. Company is over. I also don't like how, like, ugh, there's some weirder shading stuff we'll come across later, but man. Still, I don't know, for so many things awkward in front of, like, everyone. You mean the one guy? Like, it's your parents, man. Danny and I watch as Brian and A load the grill into the truck of the BIS XUV and load our own back. Why are they loading the grill? I thought you were making food. Must have missed the last scene a little bit. Danny puts his hand up to give Alia a high five, but she ignores him and walks back inside. Don't ever use names twice like this, just use she. That's what pronouns are for. Danny disappointingly lowers his hand and quickly takes out his phone out of his pocket. I love that you failed one high five and your response is to take out your phone? Oh, Zelda's almost here. Let's ride around for a couple of minutes. That feels so weird to me. We should still have room to take her with us in our car. What were you going to do otherwise? What was the plan otherwise? Yeah, I'll save your parents some gas. I heard something behind me as I turned to look at the door. I only catch a glimpse of Elia's tail walking by. Not the lady, her tail is walking by. Was she watching me? Oh, walking away. Oh, it's like she was around the corner. Why can't you use a sexier verb? Why can't you describe her tail slipping away, or sneaking away, or quickly darting away? Walking away implies that she's just walking around. Was she watching me? Is this the full version? It has to be, I'm afraid. I look back at Danny, who has a frown on his face. Seems like she does this often. Everything okay? Well, she does this every time we have people over. It gets really distant and doesn't ask like herself. Ever should join the party. Sure was a blast to have her around. Wasn't it this guy's birthday or something? I know she'll be either walking the beach or skating. She's a loner. If she wants to join us, we shouldn't force her. Man, you're so understanding. Pat-pats. I can tell Brian desperately wants to get off the depressing topic. That's not really the impression I got. I mean, I guess Brian might. I feel like the lack of emotion sprites are kind of killing this, because, like, I'm extremely reliant on Un telling us about people, and he just ain't. He like, Un describes people in terms of emotional context. And not, like, fluffy or fun context, just like, this is the emotion they're feeling now. What do you think of the area so far? Don't you live, like, right around the corner? Danny told us you recently moved here. I haven't explored around much yet, but it's pretty nice. The stock assets are gorgeous, and the AI streets are just a delight. A little wobbly, but hey. Oh, alright, you live on Aya Street. Brandy. Jesus Christ, who the fuck names their daughter Brandy? This is my son Jack Daniels and my daughter Brandy. And over there we got whiskey and tonic. Brandy throws the duffel bag and other things into the truck. Just other things. Also, I don't like this little star here. I in general, think these stars are, like, weird. They are the same color as the border, which creates a weird... It just feels like this is going to look like a diacritic on something. So we do live on the same street. How come I never see her on the way to school? She probably either goes earlier or later. Maybe she leaves early, totally ditches class. Man, I like how judgmental you are. I love that area. It's so lush with green grass. Wasn't it described as, like, brownish because all the trees are dehydrated? It smells amazing when everyone mows their lawn. Why the hell would a bird have a sense for mowed lawns? It feels more like a dog thing. Only he would gush over something as simple as grass and lawn mowing. What characteristics do you have? My daughter's first name is Tracy, surname Whiskey. Ugh. Like, what I get out of this is it really wants to, like, give characters personality, but it doesn't really do anything to do that. It just feels like it's put in there for some reason. You know, it's not like a personal conversation where Una's talking to... Let me point this out, right? It's kind of cute when Inko and Randy are, like, talking over the grill and they're having their fun little conversations. It doesn't work when there's, like, 2 other people just awkwardly standing in the scene. Like, there's no focus. It's like there's 4 people here and they're just going to say their character traits. Whiskey Rose from New Vegas. That's the post-apocalypse we don't judge. I haven't experienced it yet. Not much reason to hang around outside. From what I've seen, everyone tends to stay inside and learn. Man, these suburbs are great. We have massive lawns and we never sit in them. Tell us if you ever need any help. Brian loves mowing the lawn, if you get what I mean. Nah, I love the smell, not the job. He takes out a little bottle. He takes out a little bottle and screws the cap off, and it's like cut grass condensate. And he goes, "Oh yeah." It's just grass. Why are you so angry, Where's your personality traits to compensate? I do it for Alia's dad all the time. Normally he's too busy. Why would why would a snake want their grass cut? Don't they want to slither around and hunt for mice? Oh, they're both so nice. In fact, it's the dad that introduced us. Well, that's just interesting. We're kind of building up a mystique around the dead. Hello, my son is named Sean, and our family name is... Yeah. I was still in a band, and he was a hopeless meathead. So she was in a band. I was... What? Don't tell me this woman who has a son is, like, wearing her old band t-shirts. That is just sad to some extent. Unless she's still performing. Like, if she still owns it and they're still hanging out and they're a friend group, then it's kind of cute, you know? They're just chilling. La banda. You always gotta have a band. That's why Wani is such a disaster. No wonder she pulls off the metalhead look so well. Ah, yes, when I think of metalhead, I think of blue bangs and jeans. She's practically an expert. Like, we never establish anything. We just say it's so. You chose the fool was nothing but a nice taste. Wow. Brian, you can't just say that to your wife. You're quite the charmer. I bought her a shirt. Is that your band's logo? That's right. I still have some of her old merch. Oh, that's just sad. Come on, man. I mean, it's a nice icebreaker, but it's a little weird. Says me when I got new clothes. I also think it's weird that you apparently still fit in your clothes from your band days, which is implied to be a while ago. What's the title metalhead back then? I mean, what else would you say back then? Still am, just not in a band. Okay, so you're not even in the band. You're wearing merch of your own band, which has broken up. That was long before we had thoughts of having a kid. How long? What time is it? So a long while ago, you were in a band, and during that time, you didn't think about having kids, which implies it's like in your 18s, you were 18. What fucking woman that's in her 30s/40s is wearing an old band shirt? Those shirts were not made, those are not expensive shirts. How the fuck did they survive 20 years? She probably didn't even store them right. Because, you know, when you're that age, why would you? Maybe your parents did, the moldy attic. Ugh. Long before we thought of having kids. She didn't even want one at first. Wow. I love this conversation about how Brian was an unwanted... about how Danny was an unwanted child. Just right in front of him, huh? Oh, that baby face hits me so hard I gave up. The doctor said I was going to be sterile in a week, so I was like, ugh, better now than never, huh? I bet you are happy you did. Why are you talking like this? Why aren't you saying something like, and I'm glad you did, because look at our... Why aren't you talking like this is a wonderful moment for you? Listen, I'm usually quite critical about these stories and their, like, obsession with having babies, but, like, you had a kid, and you clearly love him to some extent. There's obviously a desire to have him around. Why aren't you happier about this? Why aren't you being a little sweet, a little cliche, a little bit like, we're parents, we've already been through it all, we don't have any shame, we do not feel cringe. Ugh. Every single moment. Remember when you had to help Cherry through a morning sickness? Who the fuck is Cherry? Then I glanced when I'm unsure what of a chime of this conversation. Man, don't ever butt in on parents talking like this. We'll go nowhere. That was one thing that turned me against it at first. But her little pregnant belly was so cute. Just fucking eat a pile of butter. You can get the same gut. I remember when they told us they were pregnant. They were so happy. It's kind of weird that they told us by mailing their positive test, but hey. Fun thing to find in the mail. Oh, Zelda shows us. Un is done. Un wants to go home. Who the fuck talks like this? Yeah. There's no energy to the conversation. It's hard to explain what it is. Didn't think a woman's belly could get that big. Your wife was pregnant. Oh, no, she was pregnant. I don't think a woman's belly could get that big. What? Where does wife at all? Yeah. Oh, Cherry is Alya's mother, then. We swore our lives were anything. Okay, hold up. So you're also the godparents? Like, that makes sense for Olivia, because Olivia is, like, actively living with someone else at that point. So having godparents is, like, fair enough. They're just her guardians, and this is the term they're using for that concept. It's really weird in this context, as it's implied that her father is alive and living here. Just fucking cop it wholesale at that point. Come on, so you can leave the conversation. You can walk over there. She's smart, agile, and quite funny when she get... Wait, she is smart... She is smart, agile, and quite funny when he gets into a partying mood. Dude, you literally just said you want to get hit by her. Why are you pretending that's not something you'd want anyway? She actually is on the rougher side, but that's what she really is. She's actually really kind. Are you talking about Alya? Dude, who the fuck talks like this in front of, like, the friend? Like, this is a conversation you have between adults, not between, you know, her peers. That's like the kind of cringe that goes past baby pictures. You know, we're just gonna tell you all about her personality traits and her character arc, so you can just get that going. Fucking hell. Would it kill you guys to have some sense of modesty? I'm going to have to see it to believe it. Un, I don't think you could see or believe anything, because I don't think you have an inner world. I think these thoughts you're feeling are just like the cameras playing back things. I am more than sure all she has is a rough side. But that's just how scales work. I honestly feel like Devasteen XCOM Viper Grab was way too into it. I mean, you know, props to you. But even from that perspective, it's lame. Let me make one thing clear, right? I'm here partially because this furry fucking hooking up romance is garbage. They are not selling me on Alya being a fun character, having cool coiling potential, or anything, right? It's Savage Crook coming right at you, the porn expert. I got my badge and my... What the hell would a porn investigator have? Like a UV flashlight to expose all the... Regarding the t-shirt, if samurai t-shirts can survive 50 years in cyberpunk, any t-shirt can... Well, I'll defer to Scary Dave. I'm not saying that t-shirts are that shit. I'm just saying it's a really weird thing to wear. On top of everything. A car pulls up and Zelda jumps out excited to see us. Thank God. I've done nothing to exit this conversation. The social contract is too strong. I still want to point out, I don't like Zelda's look. Who the fuck wears a nice dress shirt with a pleated skirt that looks like she's going to ballet? I feel like her outfit wants to go two different directions, and it's doing neither well. Also, her fingers being curled up like that looks a little awkward. Wow, Una's here! I knew you'd come. Never doubted it for a second. Man, she's like a head shorter than the mom. Zelda, were you supposed to be Olivia at first, and then the author was like, I want a big girl, so we're going with Liz. Is that what we spent an hour talking about how worried you were last night? Aw, was he worried? Oh, you shh. I love how... I don't know how to point this out, but, like, when you're pointing like this is not how flat your shoulder is. let me tell you something about anatomy. There should be a bigger, chunkier part here because your shoulders, they're kind of like this crossbar that sits across your body. So when you point like that, I mean, I guess you could, but then you would have this pull on it. It either pulls inward or it's still like jutting out. And considering how stiff his posture is, it's jutting out. Also, this implies that his upper arm is just shrunk by several inches. But I'm not here to talk about the art too much. I prefer to talk about like character designs over anatomical mistakes. Again, I feel like Un's design could have been generic without looking like the author didn't fucking bother, and I feel like Zelda's look just doesn't work. Like, just from like the hard perspective, let me tell you something that's gonna fuck you up. Why the hell does her chest have double layers of shading, but nothing else has? Not under her skirt, which would cast a shadow over her shorts. Not like it's just the chest. It's here near her collar, which there's no shadow being cast here. What is happening? What are you doing? Why does her hair have a highlight? Danny has it, but she doesn't. The inconsistencies drive me up the wall. I get that, like, from character design perspective, you tend to put more effort into the main cast that shows up more, but you can't just simplify everyone down if it's easier. You want consistency. Someone who dyes their hair does not have matte hair. They fucking wash and condition that shit. Hey, you, shh. Again, what fucking 18-year-old talks like this? I don't know what you're talking about. Not worry one bit. I would love it if Danny is just like this slightly insecure guy who portrays this very positive attitude because that's what his parents taught him or whatever. Because clearly they don't care too much and they're like a little cringe-free living. But we don't get that sense, right? There's no scenes that exist for the characters. Zelda lets us a small giggle before taking a deep exhale and turning to me. How are you doing? Very good. It's a beautiful day here with my friends. What more could I ask for? Just had the most cringe conversation in my life with these disgusting people. They were just talking all about the character arc I'm going to go through. It was weird. Brandy gives a soft smile. How? Listen, I have a bird character, right? And I like the idea of like her beak emotes in ways that it shouldn't because a beak is a solid structure. I think it's made of cartilage. I don't actually know what beaks are made of. What are beaks made of? Oh, apparently they're made of bone. The bony core of a beak is a lightweight framework. So yeah, you're not fucking smiling with that. Now, I'm not saying you can't do the corners of the mouth, right? Dude, I don't eat babies. Please stop. Stop spreading rumors. Please stop spreading rumors that I have a cabinet specifically for holding babies at a temperature where they stay the longest. I would not know that temperature, and I would not say it live on TV. But like, I like, you can do the corners of the mouth. You can do that. I don't think the beak is all, I mean, kind of, because again, you can do a top layer if you really want to. But like, I have a character, and the core idea I like with that is, it's supposed to be because she isn't actually, there's a whole lot to the character that like explains why. But anyone else from her species couldn't do it. It's what she has, because she's a fucking cartoon character come to life. I feel like if you really wanted to run with this, and like, beaks make eating different. You can't chew. You have to eat things whole. You might have to employ gastroliths in order to digest things in your stomach. Their taste buds are probably located entirely in the gizzard. As a result, that means that they either eat like big chunky parts so that it stays in the gizzard longer so they can taste it and digest it. It might be that they eat smaller bites so they can just get it through there as quickly as possible. But like, I feel emotionally, they probably do more with their hands. They might do more with their eyes. There might be like more head gestures because, again, they don't have lips to communicate with. There's a lot you can't do when you don't have lips. You can't puff up your cheeks. You can't pout. You can't smile. There's so many tiny details that go away. They don't have noses even. There's so much missing, and you have to work with that. Otherwise, why not just make them something that does have those things? You don't have to make them birds, man. Like, the only thing that matters from this setting's perspective is that all he has is a goddamn snake. The rest could be anything. Brandy gives a soft smile. Aren't you just sweet? You came just in time, Zelda. We were about to tell them the most cringe thing ever. We were just waiting for you to all go together instead of your dad following us to the beach. What do you have against your dad? Oh, nice. She waves bye, missing, to her dad. Brian giving a reassuring nod that he won't have to follow behind. What? I want to talk about, why do we fucking care? Why are we having this? We have dedicated several text boxes to the logistics of Zelda's dad doesn't have to come. Who fucking cares? You know, I often say this as like, who wakes up at 4 in the morning and goes like, man, I wonder how the logistics of the cars to getting to the beach is going to go. No one does that. No one fucking does that. People aren't here for your car logistics. They're here to talk about the fact that Denny and Zelda are hitting it up. They're here about Alia's tough, rough exterior. They're not here about the fucking car, man. Use the car as a vehicle, haha, to talk about characters, to display stuff. Maybe Zelda's dad has certain character traits. We're like, oh, that's why Zelda's like that. It's just something. Tie. If you want to talk about it, make it relevant to the characters, to the plot, to the themes, to something. It's just dry descriptive text otherwise. Why does Un care? Why is Un observing this? Why isn't he like chatting it up with Denny until they can finally go already? He's 18 years old. He's probably a little impatient at this point. He wants to go somewhere. He's not patiently sitting there like a good Inko little boy, twiddling his thumbs, going, man, let's just have these people talk. I'm just going to sit here and wait. No, he's going to talk to Denny. He's going to get on his phone. He's going to do something. He's going to kick a rock. Why does he just stand there? He pulls off after waving by. We'll have a long conversation about pregnant bellies, which is a very cringe and weird topic. I'm trying to ignore the fact that there's fetish potential because I will not accuse people of that unless I'm like, yep. It's not in detail enough. It's not being overt. It's not even using any flowery text. It's not. It's just a really weird topic to be cringe, and Un has nothing to say. So it's like a topic where you could be like, Un is kind of not into it, but not even that happens. He's just like, Remember, you have to drop me off at the bakery on the way there. It's gonna take time to make sure the cake is ready. I know, dear. Isn't it his birthday today? Shouldn't the cake already be ready? He gives her a peck on the forehead. What else is he going to fucking do with his beak? Shouldn't birds do like Eskimo kisses where they rub noses together, like their beaks? That makes way more sense. Or like preening a little bit. Why the fuck would he just go smack with that beak? Ooh, cake. This man is like seeing the courting rituals of a completely separate species, and he's like, oh man, cake. Ooh, cake, it's been a while since I had a fresh cake. You know, Un is notorious for eating stale cake. Why are we describing that the cake is fresh? Why can't Un just have, like, build on this? The concept of eating stale cake is sad, because it implies that he's late for the party, that the cake wasn't for him. These are things you can imply with cake freshness. And you can build that into that. You can be like, man, I haven't had fresh cake in a while. All the cake I ever had is like from my parents. They come back from a party and they bring it in for me. And it's like a nice gesture, but by the time I get to it, it's already stale. Build on it. Do something. Give Un some personality. Brandy gets into the car, ready to go. Alia comes back out. Okay, so how big is... Are they... Do you have like a station wagon? Because this is like 6 people fitting in one car. And I know these people look like fucking toddlers sometimes, but they ain't fitting in that car. I still don't know how to put this, but I never mind. Alia comes back out with a shirt on. Can you stop being fucking creepy, Un? Like, the only thing that you have in terms of characteristics is that you just are just non-stop just looking at Alia like that. Like, Jesus Christ, man. How tall is she compared to Brian? Alia goes with a shirt on, damn, and her skateboard. Looks like we're all ready. Let's hit the beach. So, with all the effort we've put into the background so far, we are, in fact, going to blot out the license plates and put in bird bod. I just want to let that sink in. I just want to sit here and soak in the fact that of all the effort we've put into this so far, we had time for a license plate edit.